Is Florida's housing dream turning into a nightmare? What if I told you that the very cities that skyrocketed in value just 2 years ago are now on the brink of a massive housing collapse? Florida has long been a magnet for sun seekers, investors, and retirees. But in 2025, things are changing, fast. From sudden population shifts, insurance crises, rising sea levels, and economic warning signs, Florida's housing market is about to get rocked. But where will the crash hit the hardest? In this video, we're exposing the top 10 cities in Florida where home prices are predicted to crash in 2025. Whether you're a homeowner, investor, renter, or just watching from the sidelines, you'll want to know which cities could lose 20% to 50% of their home value. Some of these cities are shocking, some are obvious. But a few will leave your jaw on the floor. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell, because this channel brings you the real estate truths that mainstream media avoids. This is not just speculation. This is analysis based on migration trends, economic data, insurance risk maps, and insider real estate patterns. Buckle up, because #3 on our list is a paradise on paper, but a ticking time bomb in reality. Let's dive in. #10, Cape Coral. Cape Coral was once Florida's fastest growing city. With its sprawling canal systems, low taxes, and boom in remote workers, it seemed like the perfect post-pandemic haven. But in 2025, the dream is cracking. Insurance premiums have doubled in 2 years due to increased flood risk. Sea level rise and hurricanes have reclassified entire zones as high risk, slashing property values. The red flags: a sharp rise in outmigration, 20% increase in foreclosures, local job market cooling due to slowed construction and real estate layoffs. Analysts predict home values in Cape Coral could drop by 22–30% by the end of 2025. And with new FEMA flood zone maps in effect, homeowners are seeing mandatory elevation requirements and skyrocketing policy costs, forcing many to sell quickly and at steep discounts. #9, Ocala. Known for its charming horse farms and affordability, Ocala became a magnet for retirees and remote workers. But the infrastructure couldn't keep up. New development outpaced healthcare and transportation services. And now, rising interest rates have frozen demand. What's going wrong? Inventory is piling up, homes are sitting on the market 2–3x longer than in 2021, price cuts are widespread, property taxes have surged as counties try to balance overstretched budgets. If trends continue, Ocala could see a 28% drop in home values. Combine this with a noticeable uptick in crime and overburdened emergency services, and it's clear that growth here may have peaked too early. #8, Palm Bay. Palm Bay rode the Space Coast hype. With NASA and SpaceX activity nearby, prices shot up. But too many investors jumped in, and now the market is oversaturated. Reality check. Short-term rentals are struggling with low occupancy rates. Investor-backed flips are sitting unsold. Insurance hikes and building costs are driving sellers to exit fast. By late 2025, Palm Bay is expected to suffer a price correction of 25–35%. Even worse, infrastructure upgrades haven't caught up with population growth, leading to water quality issues, public transportation problems, and strained public schools. #7, St. Petersburg. St. Pete is vibrant, cultural, and beautiful, but that beauty comes at a cost. Sea level rise and tidal flooding are becoming a weekly reality. Add in sky-high homeowners insurance and you've got a formula for an exodus. Why it's at risk? 1 in 4 homeowners can't afford new insurance quotes. Retirees are cashing out and moving inland. Younger buyers are priced out and skipping over it. Expect a potential 30–40% crash in vulnerable areas. And if the federal government reduces its flood insurance subsidies, St. Petersburg could face a mass departure of fixed-income residents. #6, Kissimmee. Located near Orlando and Disney, Kissimmee was once a vacation rental goldmine. Now, oversupply is crushing the market. Crash signals. Airbnb revenue is down 37% year over year. HOA fees are rising in resort communities. Laws are tightening on short-term rentals. Property values could plummet 25–45% in 2025. When tourism drops, so does demand. Local workers can't afford the inflated housing, and investors are caught between high maintenance costs and low returns. #5, Fort Lauderdale. The poster child of Florida luxury is showing cracks. Flood maps have changed, pushing luxury beachfront properties into high-risk categories. What's going wrong? International buyers are pulling back. Local income can't support luxury prices. Climate gentrification is pushing inland neighborhoods into instability. Expect a harsh correction. Homes in low-lying zones could lose up to 50% of their value. And with saltwater intrusion impacting underground utilities and the rising cost of hurricane protection, many homeowners are rethinking their investments. #4. Lakeland. This once affordable city between Tampa and Orlando became a commuter favorite, but now it's lost its shine. Key issues: rising crime and homelessness. Commuter traffic is unbearable. Water infrastructure strain is turning off new residents. Analysts warn of a 30–40% decline in home values in key zip codes. Investors are leaving and rental prices are plummeting, leaving landlords struggling to cover mortgage costs. #3. Miami. Yes, Miami. The city that seemed untouchable is now a ticking time bomb. Climate, cost, and corruption are colliding. Red flags everywhere. Condo market is oversupplied. Insurance companies are pulling out. Local wages can't support mortgage payments. Insiders estimate a 35–50% collapse in some condo-heavy neighborhoods. And with reports of structural issues in high-rise condos post-Surfside disaster, confidence in new developments is waning. #2. Port St. Lucie. It saw a gold rush of retirees, remote workers, and developers. But the growth was built on hype. Now, schools and hospitals are overwhelmed. Commercial development has stalled. Real estate taxes have doubled in some zones. A 30–40% decline in home value is expected. Without strong economic anchors, Port St. Lucie may not be able to support its boom-time prices. #1. Naples. The jewel of the Gulf Coast is in trouble. Luxury overload, severe climate risk, and elitist zoning policies are strangling demand. Alarming facts. Naples has one of the highest rates of FEMA disaster claims in the state. Investors are fleeing to safer ground. Locals can't afford rent, let alone mortgages. Some experts believe parts of Naples could see a 40–60% drop in value by the end of 2025. And with baby boomers aging out of vacation home ownership and younger generations unable to buy in, the luxury pipeline could dry up completely. So what's the takeaway? Florida is not immune. In fact, it may be the epicenter of America's next real estate correction. Climate volatility, rising insurance costs, economic uncertainty, and over-speculation are reshaping the Sunshine State's future. But it's not all doom and gloom. Opportunity always follows correction. Now it's your turn. Do you live in any of these cities? Are you seeing prices drop in your neighborhood? Do you agree or disagree with our predictions? Drop your comments below. We want to hear your insights. Let's get this conversation going. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss these deep dives into America's shifting housing market. In our next episode, we're revealing the top 7 cities where smart investors are buying in 2025, cities that could double in value while others collapse. There's more to come. And trust us, you won't want to miss what we're uncovering next. Stay smart, stay skeptical, stay subscribed.